Be Careful of What You Wish For, an audio and video blog by Rob Carson. I was adopted at birth and have been passively searching for my biological family for many years. This year, the last 2 weeks have gotten real. Not really by design. You see, I've signed up for reunion registries. I have written a lawyer or two, but have not made real headway on getting my original birth certificate, which is generally the first step to finding family members. 2017 is the year all bets are off. You know, I've always joked about what my birth parents were probably like, I'd say. I've done my own research, and I've deduced my parents are most probably very good-looking, very intelligent, with great senses of humor. This year for Christmas, I asked my wife for a DNA test to find out my nationality. I'd always heard that I was Irish, English, and German, so I wanted to find out. I ordered the DNA test and received it about the 1st of December. I spat in a vial, sent it off, hoping to receive the results in 6 to 8 weeks. After sending off my specimen, I did some more research and found out not only can you find your country of origin or your countries, you can also find genetic matches, including first to fourth cousins, brothers, sisters, and biological parents. Things just got real. Oddly enough, on Christmas Day, I received the email with my results. Now, I'm a big believer in karma and fate, so the fact my results were very early and arrived on this holy holiday were not lost on me. Oh, I'm not Irish, English, and German. I'm actually English first, Irish, Scandinavian, and German. Then I looked at my matches and discovered my family's surnames are Weiss and Getz. That's a pretty German. I also then found my first cousin, Mark. He lives in Omaha, where I was born. He has a sister who attended Northwest Missouri State University the same time I was a student there. She knew of me because I was the big show-off on campus, the radio and TV guy. I wrote Mark. That's when some amazing stuff started to happen. Mark believes he knows my parents. He also believes that they married after my birth. But I was given up for adoption because my mom became pregnant before marriage, and in 1965, that was a major no-no and a source of shame for the family. Mark claims to have a wedding pic of my parents when my mother supposedly was 4 months along with me in her belly. My biological parents went on to have other kids together, so I may have one or many biological siblings. You see, the Weisses and the Getz were very prolific at having children. My cousin Mark listened to my radio show when I was on WLS in Chicago this week and said I sounded exactly like his cousins, including some mannerisms and my laughter. This means a lot to me because one of my goals in finding my biological parents was to see who I looked and laughed like. Cousin Mark and I spoke about the fact he comes from Harlan, Iowa, a small town in southwest Iowa near my hometown of Neola. His wife comes from Avoca, another small town nearby. I told him I used the name Carson on the radio because Johnny Carson was my childhood idol. And Johnny briefly lived in Avoca. Mark then told me something that gave me pause. He said his wife grew up in the house where Johnny lived. They drive by the house all the time and point out to others that it's Johnny Carson's house. I've been exchanging emails with Mark, his sister, who lives in Maryville, where my alma mater is, Northwest. Going to get together for a beer and catch up. The family is apparently buzzing about this radio guy who's suddenly a member of the family. They want to welcome me with open arms. My adopted family is my true family. My adopted mother is my one and true mom. She's been there from poopy diapers, family spats and reunions, births and deaths. Never want to betray the love I've had for her or my family, including my adopted and stepbrothers and sisters. I told myself I wouldn't be emotional about meeting my biological family. Perhaps it's the culmination of years of wondering and half-hearted attempts at connection. The other day, when I was on the phone with my cousin Mark, I'll admit I was overwhelmed. I also know that first face-to-face meeting will elicit tears, even though I've told myself for years I don't expect to be a part of a biological family. So many things that we used to take much more effort and time to get are suddenly immediately available. We download movies instead of going to Blockbuster. We do the same with books. That keeps us from the library. Record stores, really? And now the hiring of a lawyer to get a court order, to get an original birth certificate, which might or might not lead to biological parents, has been replaced by a saliva sample and an email. Now the question is, am I really ready to meet a big, extended family who has similar mannerisms, looks, and laughs like me? Be careful what you wish for.